So they're definitely not short of athletes on the back.
They're not, but there's some thugs over there. They ashy, you know, ashy knuckles and all types of shit. They're yelling and screaming at each other when they're winning. So he's got to get used to that. See, he's got to step down. Like I said, he was a leader in Dynasty, but that shit blew up. But now he's got to be a leader here on a team that yells and really don't communicate well with each other.
Right.
So is he going to be that individual that come in?
Can he be that vocal leader?
That vocal leader
on a vocal team.
Yeah.
Right. Especially when DB starts yelling and screaming and getting on things.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You know.
It will be interesting.
It will be,
to say the least.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Thank God he's fast.
Well,
it's all about getting to the parking lot. That's what it's all about. Keeping it real. And no disrespect to Bad Boys, keeping them off the list. We're going down the list and things are not in order.
Right. And it just works out to feed it that way to lead into the...
Yeah, exactly.
Which brings us to well, actually two more teams. But one of the last teams is the former Fighting Irish, who played in the Open Division.
Okay.
And they wanted to take that team, and they had played in what was considered an AA level in a different league, and now they want to find out what they can do in the SEC.
Okay.
And they picked up a couple of those Dynasty guys. They have Randall and some of the other defensive guys. They have John, the receiver.
Okay.
And along with that Irish core.
And this is the Irish that won the Open Division?
Right. And then I guess now they've changed their name to High Definition. So they want to... And I give them a lot of credit. They said, we want to see what we can do against the best they have.
God bless them.
So you can't knock that.
Can't knock it.
They picked up some good players to help with that. So you know, that's good. This is a team that's a lot of chemistry. A team that plays well together. You know, they're a team, and then they have a pretty solid QB. So they got a good QB, and you know, they just got to adjust to the SEC game and see if what they can do works and if they can have success. And it's not easy by any means, but I mean, you can't knock that. They said, we want to see what we can do. You know, just put it all out there and see what happens.
True that.
So
let it go.
Can't knock that. And then we also have a new team who was brought over. They're going by the name of the LV Kings. I honestly don't know much about them. I know Mashari knows them. So we won't know much about them until after this first week.
All right.
And then we can kind of get into them from there. But that's a quick rundown of the teams in the SEC. Also new to this season is the overall league individual award winner, which is yet to be named, but it is basically a Heisman type of an award.
Yeah.
And the trophy that we actually have for that is kind of a Heisman style trophy. It's not the exact thing, but it has the same kind of features to it, and it's actually a pretty heavy little trophy. So it'll be good. So some favorites for that, because how it's going to work is there will be candidates from each conference. Throughout the season, we will update on this show. We will update different players and whatnot and make the list. Then when we come down to a final candidate list, every team captain will get the list, and he will go to his team and say, okay, who as a team or whatever would we select? They'll make their selections, so they'll have a player vote along with the commissioner's vote, and then there'll be one representative from each conference, and then those four finalists, the SEC, Big Ten, Mountain West, Pac-12, those four finalists will basically be then in a competition against each other based on what they've done throughout the season, what they mean to their team, you know, all the individual stuff, and then one winner will be crowned. So in the SEC, we have a list of preseason favorites, if you will, if you want to go down that list. All right,
in the SEC, first one is Disco. Like I said in the beginning, you know, he's pretty much the hottest guy in Vegas right now. Clee, with a star by his name, from my understanding. This guy don't put on a jersey, then you don't get no stats. You don't get no stats, you don't get no trophy. So we'll see how that works.
That is true.
Steve from Sick With It. We just said earlier, this guy can score anywhere on the field. Offense, defense, special teams. He can throw the ball, he can run the ball, he can catch the ball. He's going to be able to put up some stats. We got Gene from No Limit, who's had an MVP season in our league. He's good putting up numbers to see what he has dealing with this year and the season during the spring. Then we got Randall. He plays for High Definition. This dude go both ways. Both ways? Yeah, he plays offense and defense. I'm not, no homo. Yeah, but he plays both sides of the ball. Both sides of the ball, that's what I meant to say. I didn't say both ways.
Right.
Although both ways is funny. Plays both sides of the ball, so he's going to be able to get some stats too as well. Then we have Jason. I didn't write
High definition QB.
High definition QB.
Right.
Yeah.
Little dark horse candidate, if you will.
Doing down at the last minute. And, I'm pretty sure he's going to appreciate that.
Right.
And so we'll see what happens.
He's been a 2-time Offensive Player of the Year award winner, although it's been like in the Mountain West and whatever. But you know, now we can see what he can do against the big boys.
Yep.
So those are our SEC preseason nominees. Again, we will be updating that list every 2 or 3 weeks. We'll revisit it. We'll put up stats, current stats, what they have.
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there. And then there could be new candidates emerging based on who does what in the season.
Yeah, your stock will go either up or down. And if you have a bad season, if you have a bad couple of weeks, it'll go down.
And these are not necessarily the people that are on
the ballot.
There's just a watch list at this point. So just people to, you know, the usual suspects, if you will, on that thing. Well, if you will, what about we each have different top 5 rankings for the preseason for the SEC?
Yeah, we agreed on some picks and in other ones we didn't.
Right. We had basically the same team, just in a different order, with one team, I think, an exception. So why don't you go ahead and name yours?
All right, for the SEC, I got number 1, DX. I mean, enough said. Number 2, because Bad Boys have a quarterback. I'm not really sure if he's proven, but being that they stepped up and got the quarterback, I'm going to put them at number 2. I got TMT at number 3, no disrespect. And Sick With It coming in at number 4, No Limit at number 5.
Okay. And for my top 5, I again have DX at 1. I mean, they're 2-time champions, so until they get knocked off, I guess. TMT, they still make it. They've been the runner-up the last two seasons. So, and then they won a summer tournament season. So, still a lot of success there. Until someone else knocks them out of the playoffs early, then I can't really, you know, put them any lower. I have Sick With It at 3. I have the Bad Boys at 4, and I'm going to go ahead and bring LNG up to 5. I think they're going to have a bounce-back season from that last season, and I expect them to come back hard.
Can't go nowhere else but up.
Yeah. I mean, just 2 seasons ago, they were the number 1 seed going to the playoffs. So,
yes, it was.
I mean, they've been all the way up and all the way down, so I figure 5, they got to be somewhere in the middle. So we can't knock that. How about your preseason champion favorite right now?
I don't have any.
You have one. I know you
I
did
don't
because
have
you
one.
said it the other day.
I didn't say shit the
Yes,
other
you
day.
did.
No,
you said it the other day. You
didn't.
said you were going to come on air and pick this team to be the champion. Say it now. Don't be scared.
Well, how about this? I'm going to do you one better. I'm not going to pick the winner, but I'm going to pick the 2 teams that I think that's going to be in the final.
Okay. That's
All
nice.
right. No disrespect to the DX. I just don't think that they can win back to back to back.
Okay.
So I'm picking a new champion this year.
Okay.
A new champion this year. But my 2 teams that I have in the final is going to be, I'm going to have Bad Boys and Sick With It in the finals.
Is that how you're going to? That's what you're going to go?
That's
with?
what I'm going to go with.
You put a lot of pressure on Rocket at the start.
Fuck Rocket, I don't give a fuck about that dude. You know what I mean? Either he's
I'm
going to
just saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying it. I'm just saying. I mean, there's no pressure. You have to, I mean, he had a lot of pressure last year. He wanted to prove a lot of stuff last year. Shit the bed at the end of the season. I mean, you went to the championship, so that wasn't that bad. I mean, a lot of teams can't get to the championship.
Right.
But, you know, Bad Boys had to think enough of him to be their quarterback, so they must have seen something.
Right. I'm just saying.
I just think. And I think that he's probably going to be the better quarterback than they've had in a long time.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll come out in the spread and he'll dink and doink, you know, he'll get to the corner, do a little bit of running around. Maybe they'll go traditional with a line, just pound it and beat the shit out of people. Who knows? I mean,
we don't know.
We don't.
We don't know. I'm going to agree with you, and I'm going to say there's going to be a new champion as well. And actually, the team I'm going to pick to win it all was one of the 2 teams you put in the finals. And I'm going to say Sick With It's going to come back and get a championship.
That's not a bad pick either.
So
that's bold.
There's a lot of talk in the DX camp about going undefeated in the 3-peat, and I think they're going to slip up. somewhere in there. They're obviously going to go to the playoffs, but I think they're going to playoffs. They're going to slip up.
Well, DX beats DX.
Right.
It's as simple as that, you know. And as much as I don't see it, as much as I would at the end of the whole thing, I mean, from what I've seen in the last 2 seasons with DX, I don't see anybody beating them the way they play. But they got a bigger heart on it. They got a bigger target on their back. They don't have fucking Snafu, or whatever the fuck his name is, who's Bear, who came out on the show and just said Snarf, yeah. So they don't have Snarf for the motivation. So these guys have to come out and play. So we'll see what happens. I mean, dudes get tattoos, don't show up. Guys got to work, can't show up. You know, things could happen.
Anything can happen.
DX lost to the Rebel team last year.
Right.
Now, Disco wasn't there, and it was a close game.
Right.
But anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Well, that wraps up the. Why don't we break down, or not break down, but just real quickly run through the matchups for Week 1. In the SEC, they're going to have all their out-of-conference games done right now, or right off the bat. Well, actually, I think they're going to have one more later in the season, but they're doing their first one right now and get it out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
But for game times, you're looking at, to start at 1 p.m. on Field 1, DX will be matching up with UFB.
UFB has DX number.
Interesting matchup there.
Very.
2 p.m. TMT against Body Count.
Yeah, TMT has Body Count number.
3 o'clock, we're going to have, also at 2 o'clock, I'm sorry, at 1 o'clock on Field 2, Fury, we're back playing the Mad Dogs. There's a matchup that's gone back a few seasons as well.
Mm-hmm.
2 o'clock on Field 2, the Bad Boys versus the Agency. That'll be an interesting matchup.
Very.
3 o'clock on Field 1 is Sick With It versus Wasted Talent.
Nice.
And then we have Nellis versus No Limit. So that's a pretty even matchup, I think.
Nellis No Limit?
Nellis No Limit.
Yeah, that's a good matchup.
At 5 o'clock, you're going to have Takers versus LNG on Field 1. And then your boy Obama.
Ooh, Obama's back.
And then also at 5 on Field 2, the Scrappers will match up against the new LV Kings.
Okay.
So nice way for at least the LV Kings to get in, not really jumping into the SEC, so to speak, right off the bat.
What, you saying that's going to be an easy game?
I'm not saying it's an easy game, but what I'm saying is it's not jumping in they're not jumping in against like TMT or something right off the bat. That's what I'm saying.
Scrapper Joe, man.
At 6 o'clock on Field 1, the Bulldogs will be facing off against the Rock, or ROC, however they're going by, I'm not sure. And then on Field 2, Rebel Swag will be, never mind, that's a Big Ten game. So that matches up at schedule for Week 1 in the SEC. Good luck to all the teams out there. It should be an exciting and very competitive season.
Yep.
So we'll look forward to seeing everyone this Sunday at Fountain Park.